We got lots of birds singing up in the trees. And we got snow on the ground. Welcome to March 31st, everybody. March 31st, it's cold and snowy. Fa la 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 la. Christmas was 3 months ago. Fa la 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 la. I knew we were going to get some flurries yesterday afternoon. I was not expecting it to be a white ground and bad roads yesterday. It's funny how we can't get a white Christmas, but we can absolutely get a white March 31st and April 1st. That's kind of crazy. I shouldn't say April 1st because that's tomorrow, and this will probably be all gone today because it's supposed to be 40-some degrees. Another surprise that I should have kind of expected but didn't is the ethanol plant is going to take April contracts, of which I have. So I can start hauling a little bit of corn out of the bin today. I already got the semi outside, left it out in the snow. For one reason being, it doesn't really fit once I hook up the planter. The other reason being, if you can see that, I don't have doors on that machine shed anymore, which means this kind of served as a windbreak for the doors. But I also had the bright idea of leaving the tarp open on my trailer, which I would normally do sitting it outside because it can handle getting wet in there. It's all aluminum on the inside, so the wet doesn't bother it. But that tarp doesn't really like being in the sun, doesn't really like being in the wind, and so I rolled the tarp open to protect it from the sun and the wind, not knowing there was going to be this kind of snow going on. So if I've got a trailer that's half full of snow, that's going to make filling it with corn and unloading it kind of difficult for today. And I'd kind of like to get some of that corn hauled while the ground is, somewhat hard and frozen, where I've got to get to it, because this afternoon I think it's going to be sloppy mud and I'm not going to want to be back there. So it'd be nice to get a load or two out here this morning while the ground is firm. But let's take a look in that trailer and see what kind of mess I made myself. I better get my glovies on. That aluminum is going to be cold, and my poor girly little fingers are not going to appreciate that much. All right, let's see if I can get up here one-handed. Some old man grunts. Oh yeah, we definitely got some snow going on in there. I don't know if that's going to be enough to really make a problem or not. I got pretty good drifts going on the front, so shoot dogs. Well, I got two options. I can try to sweep that down and dump it out, or I could just run with it. It is going to be melting, and this is going to make sloppy and mush going into the legs at the ethanol plant. What do I do with that? Another question to ask myself is, will this guy start? It's kind of cold and doesn't even have a block heater that I can find in it. Well, let's just see what we get here. We got battery. That's an improvement over last week. I'll have to do this little thinky. Oh yeah, piece of cake. No air in the system, normal. All right, well, while this is warming up, I'm gonna see, do I have window defrost? Yes, I do. Might want that. We'll let this warm up for a while. Crank that defrost if we ever get any heat pushed out of here. Plug that in. And we gotta go move our auger up too. So random thought and burning question I've had on my mind while I'm walking across the yard is, in the Midwest, for some reason, we say the word "oop" when we're going to bump into somebody. Like it's this precursor to an "excuse me" or an "I'm sorry." But I've never really seen it typed hardly anywhere, except in a meme once in a while or so. But I think we all say it. I think we all do it. And it's not something that we were really taught in school or by our parents. Like, now, before you say "I'm sorry" or "excuse me," you say "oop," and here's how you spell it. I don't know where it really came from, but I think we all do it. Either that or I'm just weird. Am I just weird? Don't answer that. Actually do. Put that down in the comments below. That could be kind of interesting. Maybe I'm not weird. I always thought I was weird. Well, we made it. It was a beautiful drive, easy drive, really nice day. Rocco got himself a pretty good nap in. I opened his window for him so we can sniff all the sniffs and smell all the smells. This is his first time at the ethanol plant. Not sure what he thinks so far. He's kind of half awake. It was a pretty good nap he got in the sun there. Well, I'm really surprised that nobody was really here. It was fairly normal. A couple of trucks waiting to get on the scale. I thought for sure the first day of contracts being available to bring in for the month and being a pretty nice day. I thought there'd be a lot of guys in here, but, well, there's not. Makes it for an easy morning. And Rocco, who famously loved his wet cake, now is at the wet cake factory. He wants it all. Stay in here, buddy. Yeah, you gotta stay here. You gonna watch that guy go in? You can watch him go in. So usually when I leave Rocco in a vehicle, which I'm gonna have to do while I unload, I put the windows up far enough that he can't get out, and I shut it off and take the key with me, because a couple of times he's accidentally pushed a lock button and locked me out. And my last dog, Otis, was pretty notorious for doing that as well. Yeah, you lock me out, don't you? So usually what I got to do is take the key. Well, in a semi, I don't really want to shut the thing off. But what I can do in this truck, key comes out, still running. Put that in my pocket, he can't lock me out. Wasn't there no pickup commercial back in the day? Dogs love trucks. What do you think, Rocco? I don't know how well you can see in here. Kind of foggy, a little blurry. You just kind of barely see that coming down in there. There's me and my Batman symbol. There's the inside. On our way down, yeah, my stir radiator's got a little messed up last fall. One fell off, or the belt fell off of one and it stopped turning. So it got left behind and then it stopped the other one there. And there's nothing I can do about that until the corn gets out. So there she hangs. Those of you who do this know how much fun stir radiators can be. suppose I better get down there, huh? Getting close. So when I backed this in here for the second time, I followed right along where my tracks went so that I'd be right under the spout exactly where I was. But then I had the good idea of taking my pipe over there and pushing this whole auger that way a little bit so that that fills in the spout fills the hopper down there just a little bit better, doesn't throw as much out. I usually put that chunk of metal and lay it up against there to kind of keep more of that corn from bouncing out, but there's just enough of a north breeze today that that's not happening. So when I move that auger over just a few inches, now I don't fill my truck up quite centered, so it fills up off to one side a little bit, and before I was really ready for it to move, we just dumped a little bit on the ground there. Not a big deal, but not quite as efficient either when the pile's off to one side, even a few inches to one side or the other. So I cranked the wheel and I pulled ahead, and that's centered a little bit better this time, but it'll be all right. What are you looking at? Big tall guy? Yeah, what are you looking at? What is it? You guys liking the show over there? Kind of exciting, isn't it? What do you think? 52. Where's 59? You were the one. Yeah, I was giving you a pretty good back rub yesterday morning. You come over here for another one? Yeah? Putting so much meat on, you need me to rub your back, huh? Help it grow a little better, tenderize it. Can you tenderize meat while it's still on the cow? I don't know about that. All right, buddy. You gonna jump in? You do it? You can do it. Yeah, you do it. Come on. Up. You can do it. Not today? You getting too tired? Too much jumping on the bales? Sure? Alright, I'll get you. Alright, it should be tarp closing. Tarp closed. Okay. Away we go. Hit the brakes, pull her into gear, and we're off. See how we got out of this mud. I didn't slip too much, but yeah, we're pushing a little mud and water back there with those rear wheels. I think that might be our last time backing in there for a while. Until it dries up. Well, off we go. I probably better. Alright, you're gonna let me do it, aren't you? Yeah. Just like that. Yep, you're leaning into me now. Yep. How's that? Huh? Yeah, I can feel your tail twitching. You're liking that, aren't you? Yeah, that's a big old back. A lot of weight for you to carry around. Now you're leaning up against me. Yeah. Is that good stuff right there? A little Mooo-ssage. Keep an eye on that corn running too. And women say that men don't know how to multitask. I can massage my cattle and fill a semi up with corn at the same time. Look at that. Yeah. How about this? Rubbing those ribeyes, huh? How's that? Huh? Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Rubbing those ribeyes. Making my arm tired, man. I got a glove on this hand. Maybe that'll be better. You missing out? 55? Look at that. You got some pretty good tail meat going on there, too. How about this side? Need to rub this side a little bit. Yeah. over here, buddy. Yeah. What do you think of that, huh? Get your head too. Oh, is that too much? All right, I'll go back to your ribeye. Get the roasts. Tenderize those roasts a little bit. Ooh, rub right on those hips. Right there. Oh, yeah. That got the whole rump wiggling. That's a good spot right there. Right behind there, maybe. Get a little elbow into it. Oh, yeah. That's a spot, isn't it? You're leaning into me a little more and more all the time. Now I gotta go shut my corn off here pretty soon. I gotta move the truck. Oh, you're gonna knock me over if you're not careful. I'll go back up here to the rib eyes. Yeah. You got a puppy to look at. Yeah, is that good? Yeah. Do I need to hit this side? Is that what you're telling me? You licked on your right. That mean I got to rub on your right rib eyes? Yep. All right. If you insist. You're the customer. You tell me what you need. Anywhere else that it hurts? Huh? Otherwise, I got to go start the truck up. I shut it off for just a bit. That spot right behind the hip there. Is that good? What is that? You all right with that? You got your tail wagging like a dog too. Not quite. Oh. You got a friend wanting in on this now, huh? Yeah? You need in on this 55? You jealous? Huh? I don't think you're quite so into that. Nope. You're out of here? You're done too? Alright, well I guess your chair time is done. And I'm starting to get some corn sticking up over the top. I better move that ahead.